Welcome to my studio. Let me show you around. My name is Caleb, and I'm the owner of New Union Market. I design and print t-shirts for my hometown of Battle Creek, Michigan, and I print them right here in this studio, which I effectively call the Schdude. I've spent the last year transforming my basement into this studio, and I've been using it for the past couple weeks, and it's been amazing, so let me show you around. If you want to see future videos, design breakdowns, printing shirts, other things like that, like, comment, subscribe. Super excited for the future, and I want you to be a part of it. So we are in the main workspace area. I cut and sanded and coated all these plywood boards. I really wanted to go for a non-traditional look, so I went for an all OSB look, which I like. I think it turned out cool. Not everyone might like it, but I like it. We've got this painted edge that adds just a little bit of something, a little bit of detail. And while the space is designed to look cool, it's also designed to be very functional. This space is what I call my island, and it's gonna be for a lot of utility work, specifically designed for tie-dye. So the idea is I can set up things for tie-dye, can have my shirts all laid out, and then I can dye here, swap to the other side, dye here, then dye here. It's supposed to be very ergonomic, great for things where I need multiple areas to get around everything. This will be great for tufting rugs too, so I can see the back of it. My old setup, I could never really look at the back of the rug while I was making it. So this section of the workspace is going to be super functional. Behind this island is our wall that I saw someone on Reddit do this. I thought it was really cool. So these are all the transparencies that we made screens with, and we'll just tape them up when we're done. And then it's kind of a fun way to see all the artwork we've done throughout the years. This will expand and grow in the future, you know, as I make more screens, print more stuff. Thought it was really cool to kind of like decorate, but also document at the same time. Obviously, you're the camera right there. I've got a spot for a camera, so it could be phone or you. A light too that I still need to buy and get for a key light. So this will be for live streaming, for Instagram Reels, video making, things like that. Then in here is the screen printing closet. So in here is where I'm storing all my emulsion, screen printing chemicals, inks, and I've got a bunch of screen storage in here too, so I can have screens drying in here that are away from light, and then also away from my cat, so he doesn't get into the stuff, even though he always wants to get in this closet. But that's why it's shut all the time. Anyways, it's a little messy, but absolutely pivotal to the screen printing workflow. I've even got a screen coating station here to just make coating screens a breeze. You can see my custom cutout logo sign with the LED backlight. I think it's really cool. It's just got a little bit of that pop of the brand color. It's really cool. I've got all this area, so 8 feet wide in total. Honestly, I don't know what to do with this space. I kind of don't need it. At least not all the time. It's nice to set out orders here, lay them all out, pack them. Still kind of figuring out how to use this space, but that's what's cool. It's got an outlet right here, so I've been able to throw my sewing machine up here, do some sewing. So it's super flexible and versatile for whatever I need this to be. Then here we have a vintage iMac. Honestly, no reason I need this other than it's just kind of cool and a vibe over here with the lava lamp stuff. I got a little stylophone to just doodle around with for no exact reason. Other than that, it's fun, and I feel like that's reason enough. But I do have Photoshop on this iMac. So at one point I kind of wanted to design something fully on vintage Photoshop. Might get some games on here or find out a way to hack a way to control Spotify on this thing. Haven't found a use for it yet. Other than that, it's fun and cool and looks really vibey over here. Here is the actual computer setup. Monitor backlight, keyboard. I mean, it's a computer. I've got floating shelf up here with speakers and a bunch of vintage stereo boxes I've collected over the years. I'll show you the speaker system real quick. At some point, I want to expand this. I always wanted some way to play music that wasn't just my phone or AirPods, so when we're printing, we can vibe out down here, have music going. Definitely want to expand this to be more than just the 2 speakers at some point. Have, honestly, kind of surround sound a little bit. have 2 more speakers down over there, maybe a subwoofer. I don't know, but that's floating shelf with cool decor. And then beneath, at the top of our desk, we have tons of storage. So I made a million cubbies. The top level is a little offset for, you know, just because it looks a little bit nicer and cleaner and feels visually balanced. Down here, even more storage. Honestly, more storage than I know what to do with. Got sewing machine down here, film photography stuff, sewing supplies, printer for poster printing and transparencies. I mean, there's storage for everything. Got the computer set up here, stereo, scanner, more storage. Needs a little bit of cable management, but no, it's here. Not everything is perfectly organized. I need to get my dies a little bit more organized. I want them color-coded and organized. Got to figure out a system for that. Overall, feels nice to actually have storage for once, not just working off of one singular desk in a tiny apartment. It's amazing. Right next to my long desk is a pegboard setup with a floating shelf. So we've got our using inks right here, so the inks I'm using currently, and then all the other accessories I need while I'm printing. So squeegees go up here, rags, temperature gun, tape, heat gun, literally everything we need for screen printing is right here, easily accessible. Below that pegboard is my TV wall. I love retro TVs, and I wanted something cool and vibey in here, so this has just got a cool spinning version of our logo that's just kind of vibing out in here all the time. I gotta fix this TV, but yeah, it's the retro TV wall. Don't look back here, there's a million cords. Then to swing you over a bit, this machine needs a name, but nonetheless, it's our 6-color 4-station screen printing machine. Got our flash dryer as well. I've been using this more and more. It's been amazing, just the amount of stuff we're gonna get. Doesn't have micro registrations, that's the only downside, but it's allowing me to print multiple colors, which I've never been able to do. Printing is so much faster than a janky 1-press, 1-color station. It's just super awesome that I even got to fit this in my basement and I get to use it. It's awesome. Above the press, you'll see this GoPro. This is going to be for Instagram Reels to see what we're printing. And then you can see the feed is going into this vintage black and white TV that's meant to go under cabinets. I thought it was just kind of cool. Again, I mean, it's practical in the way that it allows me to kind of, you know, see the frame, see what's going on. But it's not the most efficient way to do a monitoring system. But it's fun and it looks cool. So I don't care. And then a little bit over from our press on the other side of our workstation is our vibe area, is what I've called it. This is just a spot that, number one, looks cool, but is also just a loungy space for me to sit down and sketch, enjoy the space, have a good time, and have some comfortable seating because my workspace isn't the most comfortable. So like this chair, it's from IKEA. I've always wanted this chair, and it's super comfortable, like really comfortable. Here is a bunch of stuff to organize all my film cameras. I'll bring you closer. So these are also shelves from IKEA. They're like 20 bucks each. It's to organize in a fun way all of my film cameras, the full collection, so I can see them, grab them whenever I need them. They're all in front of this backdrop, which is covering up a bunch of sewage pipes and drain pipes and all that. So it kind of encloses the space a little bit, covers up all that utilities. And then also is a spot to be a backdrop. So like this right now, I can move all this, take photos in front of it. So it's a little dual purpose in that way. Same with the walls over here. So these are all photos I took on film of Battle Creek, and I wheat pasted them to this wall. And it's kind of a cool little mural wall. I can take photos in front of this if I want, but it's also a cool little, you know, mural backdrop area. And then a little bit over, I've got a poster up right now, a Kellogg's, vintage Kellogg's poster, but I can take this off and hang clothes up here and make product photos and videos. And then this partition wall, also made of OSB, blocks off the rest of our, so we got inventory storage that I'm not gonna even show you because it's really ugly, behind this wall. So it kind of, again, encloses a space, blocks it off. And then side table also from IKEA, rug, kind of, you know, decorate the space, make it feel like a inspiring creative space rather than just utility. There are a couple more utilities. So this is the other side of the basement that I didn't really want you to see. I wanted the studio to feel like you're in another world, but there are some utilities that leaked into the rest of my basement, that being our screen storage rack. So we have some storage in the closet, but then this storage is more for screens that are in runs that have ink on them that aren't clean yet, that we could pull back out and use again. And then on top is my exposure unit. This is DIY with a DIY light. Then we can plug this in, expose screens, and then take them to our washout booth, which I'll show you in a second. I've got studio lights all throughout the space so that content I film looks good when I'm filming it. It doesn't look gross. And then I don't have overhead ugly lights on. And then down here is a bin I made. So this is everything that we've screen printed. So when we print it on the press and flash it, we can throw it in here to then cure it afterwards and not just have t-shirts floating around everywhere. And this is my washout sink, which is using the utility sink in the other side of my basement. So it's not really nice, but it is functional. We've got a hose hooked up to sink faucet. Then I can turn it on. There's not water through it now. Turn it on, reclaim screens. There is a little bit filtration involved, so emulsion's not going down my plumbing. Shower curtain to keep it away from the rest of my basement and the walls and such. Yeah, that's kind of it for the washout booth. I get to have space to myself that I can customize, make my own, make it efficient, but also make it fun to be in, and make it inspiring, and make it a space where I can create and create effectively. So to finally have a space to call my own is just incredible. Every time I come down here, I just look at it and I'm just so thankful, so blessed. I wanted people to know when they bought a product that I not only designed it, but printed it, and it was printed here in Battle Creek, the city I'm trying to, build and grow, and do something cool for. So I knew I wanted to have, a personal touch on every shirt and thing that I make in this studio. I always knew my own studio was kind of the end game. And so to finally be in a studio, start to sell merch that I've printed in my own studio by myself, it's just super special. And I'm just super thankful that year after year, week after week, I still get to do this and that people are still excited about it. That's just super, super special. Yeah, that's actually kind of it for the studio as a whole. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Super excited for what this is going to mean. Space will evolve and change throughout the years as I use it, figure out a good workflow, make things more functional than they currently are. But nonetheless, that is the Stude New Union. Thank you so much for watching. It truly means the world that people like you watch my videos. Yeah, I don't know what to say other than I'm just excited for the future.